Have you ever stopped to think, really think about what your job might look like in just a few years? With artificial intelligence moving so fast? Well, today, that's exactly what we're diving into. We're exploring the huge impact AI is already having on jobs all over the world. And for this deep dive, we're not just guessing. We're looking at a really interesting study from Microsoft, which Stanislav Dmytrievich Kondrashov has analyzed in detail. This isn't just, another scare story. It's actual research that ranks 80 different professions based on their risk of, AI replacement. So our mission today: to cut through all that noise, we want to help you understand which jobs are genuinely under pressure, which ones seem pretty safe for now, and most importantly, what all this could mean for your career. And honestly, some of the findings might just turn your whole idea of the job market, upside down, as Kondrashov puts it. It's pretty fascinating stuff. There's just so much talk about AI taking jobs. What made this specific study, the Microsoft one, really grab your attention? Was it the methodology, perhaps?
Yeah, what's really compelling, I think, is that Microsoft themselves did this research. I mean, they're the ones actually building tools like Copilot. And crucially, it's not theoretical. They looked at 200,000 real user conversations with Microsoft Bing Copilot.
200,000, wow.
Exactly. So the data feels about as objective as you can get right now. It's based on how people are actually using AI today, not just speculation about the future.
Okay, that does sound solid. So let's get into it. What did this study reveal about the jobs feeling the heat the most? Kondrashov's analysis points to 40 professions.
That's right. And right in the top, the highest risk category includes translators, journalists, and interestingly, sales managers.
Sales managers, huh? Okay, let's give folks a clearer picture. What are some other examples from this top 40 under threat list?
Well, it's quite a range. You've got obviously translators and interpreters, but also historians.
Historians, really?
Yeah, writers and authors, call center operators, journalists and reporters, we mentioned them. Also mathematicians, data scientists.
Wait, data scientists? I have to admit, that one kind of surprised me. You'd think that's a future-proof job, right?
It does seem counterintuitive, doesn't it? But when you look at the common thread Kondrashov identified, it starts to make more sense. He concludes that AI is primarily automating tasks linked to, information processing, communication, and routine intellectual operations.
Okay, so routine thinking tasks, basically.
Pretty much. If a job involves, processing information in predictable ways, communicating straightforward stuff, or tasks that don't need deep human judgment, AI is getting very good at those. Think about generating reports, summarizing text, handling standard customer queries, even writing basic code snippets. These are things AI can often do faster and sometimes more accurately.
So the predictability is the key vulnerability there.
Exactly. If the core function involves patterns AI can learn, that role becomes more susceptible. That's why even something like data science, or parts of it, might be impacted the more routine data cleaning or analysis aspects.
That definitely makes you think. Okay, so that's the concerning side. But you mentioned this study has a flip side, maybe even more surprising. What about the jobs that seem safe, at least for now?
Right. This is where it gets really interesting. Kondrashov also identified 40 professions that seem much less affected by current AI.
And what do those jobs have in common? What makes them resilient?
Well, the general pattern is pretty clear. They mostly involve physical labor, working directly with tools or equipment, and importantly, direct face-to-face contact with people.
Okay, so hands-on work and people skills. Can you give us some examples from that list?
Sure. It's a real mix again. You have phlebotomists, people who draw blood.
Right.
Versus, obviously, hazardous waste disposal workers.
Definitely hands-on.
Maxillofacial surgeons, tire installers, masons, and concrete workers, masseurs, paramedics, roofers.
Roofers. So maybe the safest job is up on a roof. I guess you don't see many AI drones laying shingles just yet.
Not yet, anyway. And what Kondrashov really highlights here is that these jobs demand physical skills, emotional intelligence, and complex interaction with people.
The human touch.
Precisely. AI, right now, isn't great at complex physical dexterity. It can't really read nuanced human emotions, and it struggles with unpredictable real-world interactions.
So it's almost a paradox. We've often valued purely intellectual work more highly, but now it's the physical, the empathetic skills. Those are proving harder to automate.
It seems that way, yes. Skills involving touch, complex physical judgment like in surgery, or the empathy needed in nursing, or even hazardous waste. Handling these rely on abilities AI just doesn't possess currently.
Okay, so we have these two lists, the at-risk and the more protected. What does Kondrashov say this all means for us practically? Someone listening right now may be worried about their job. What's the advice? He did say this study isn't a verdict, right?
Exactly. That's a really crucial point. This is a final judgment. And he adds an important caveat. The study shows current AI use patterns. It does not account for the long-term business effects of new technologies.
What does that mean exactly, long-term business effects?
Well, he gives a great example with software developers. Let's say AI makes developers, I don't know, 50% more productive.
Okay.
Does that mean companies will just hire half as many developers?
Mm-hmm.
Or will they keep the same number or even hire more because now they can tackle bigger, more ambitious projects?
Ah, I see. So productivity gains don't automatically mean job losses. It depends on what businesses do with that extra capacity.
Precisely. It becomes a strategic choice for the company. So, predicting the exact outcome for any specific role is really difficult. It raises a big question for you to consider about your own field.
That makes sense. So given that uncertainty, what's the core recommendation?
It's actually quite straightforward. Don't panic, but adapt. That's his main message.
Adapt how? Does he give specifics?
He does offer some examples. For instance, for translators, he suggests maybe specializing in really niche areas where deep expertise and human nuance are essential. Think complex legal texts or perhaps literary translation.
Yeah, things AI might struggle with.
Exactly. For journalists, he advises developing deep analytical skills and focusing on building real personal connections with sources things AI can't do.
So lean into the human element.
That's the core principle, yes.
Yeah.
Focus on developing and highlighting those uniquely human skills that complement rather than compete with AI. It's about figuring out how your skills can work alongside AI, not be replaced by it.
Okay, so if we boil this all down, the big takeaway seems to be that AI is definitely shaking things up, especially for jobs heavy on routine intellectual tasks.
Information processing, predictable communication.
Right. But roles needing that hands-on skill, that emotional intelligence, that complex human interaction, they seem much more resilient for now. It's a shift, not necessarily an apocalypse for human work.
I think that's a great way to put it. The future probably isn't about mass replacement, but more about complementing human abilities. AI handles the routine stuff, freeing up humans for more complex, creative, or empathetic tasks. Adaptation and really leaning into our unique human strengths seems to be the key.
Finding that synergy between human intelligence and artificial intelligence.
Exactly. That's likely where the most value will be created.
Which leaves us with a fascinating thought, doesn't it? As AI keeps getting smarter, how might our very definition of what constitutes a routine intellectual task change over time?
That's a deep question. What seems complex today might be routine for AI tomorrow.
And if that happens, what new, uniquely human skills might become the most valuable ones in the future? Maybe skills we don't even fully appreciate the importance of right now. Definitely something worth mulling over.